And right now I'm joined by a USC professor, Dr. Matthew Deflem. You are a professor of sociology at the university. I want to thank you for being here today. I know you specialize in international policing and terrorism.
Yes.
First of all, your reaction, because this is the biggest story
yes.
For a long time, what we've been waiting for.
Yes, and I was astonished actually at the announcement, like everybody else was, because I didn't see it coming. It was obviously a military operation which to a large extent relied on human intelligence, which is very interesting. So information was gathered from people associated with bin Laden. So bin Laden was in hiding, but obviously had couriers, had people that he was associated with who were not completely hidden away, and via information about their whereabouts, ultimately the whereabouts of bin Laden were discovered.
And really this was a case of it just taking time and people being
Yes.
persistent to find out where he was.
Yes, absolutely. It has taken at least 4 years since the initial intelligence about people associated with bin Laden and knowing something about roughly the whereabouts of bin Laden, and ultimately then pinpointing them to this exact location, which in itself actually is extremely unlikely because he was hiding, not like people thought, in a cave someplace.
In a compound.
In a compound, yes, indeed. So he was actually in a mansion closely located to a Pakistani military bases. So I guess his, clever tactics, there's not a way to put it, was to go in hiding where you least likely expect it. Yes.
I've got to ask you quickly, as we move forward, obviously there's a lot of ramifications. I mean, this is something the U.S. has been waiting for, militarily and then just citizens who endured 9/11. But going forward, what are some ramifications of this that we can probably expect to see?
Well, like you said, for the American people, I think this is very important, and the emotional outpouring over the victory, the clearly military victory, is very important. However, in terms of the fight against terrorism, I think that there is still a lot of work to be done, because what we have now done is removed the leader of one organization. But unfortunately, over the past 4 or 5 years, this form of terrorism is associated with extremist ideologies that is more like a broad movement. It's not just this one organization. And unfortunately, yes, it has spread, and there's been a lot of, homegrown terror, radicalization of certain people, certain individuals in certain communities, and that problem still exists. So I think trying to win over the hearts and minds of certain people who are vulnerable to radicalization is, and it's something that you will always have to work on. Yes.
Dr. Deflem, thank you for being here. Appreciate it today. Now, if you would like to continue following this story, we'll continue to bring you the latest developments on this on air and online at WIS-TV.com. You can go to our website throughout the day for the latest updates and reaction. And up next, when we come back, Joe Pinner has your first alert forecast.